Hello, I'm Larry Anderson, editor of SourceSecurity.com, and we're here today with Scott Schafer of Arecont Vision.
Hi, Larry.
He is the Executive Vice President of Sales, Marketing, and Service, and we're going to have a little conversation about megapixel video.
Very good.
We hear a lot these days about commoditisation of video cameras. I'm wondering, how is Arecont Vision dealing with that issue, and how is it positioning itself to compete in an age when cameras are commodities?
Okay, so Arecont Vision was and is the leader in multi-megapixel technology. And we were really on the first stages of building the first 2, 3, 5, 10 megapixel cameras that came to market. We're the first to do dual sensor day-night products and the first to do multi-sensor panoramic cameras like the ones that you see here. So the first to do an 8 megapixel, a 12 megapixel, a 20, and a 40. So we've always stayed on the leading edge of those technologies, bringing forward even more capabilities in the cameras. So the first thing I think was to bring the pixels forward, always trying to find ways to develop and lead the market in multi-megapixel based technology, and then we got into wide dynamic range and low light and day-night capabilities that we thought were real advantages not only to our company but provided the solution set that users were looking for as well. So with that, I think that those are kind of the foundational elements. But if you look back to our architecture too, we develop everything in-house, and Larry, when you came to visit us, you saw that. And because we own the base technology, we're able to do a number of things that others can't because we control the design. And through that, we're able to even do some things once we've released a product. We've got what's called an FPGA-based architecture, or field programmable logic array, or gate array. And with that, we're able to even provide upgrades to current technology for better color accuracy, frame rate improvements, and those kinds of things. So we're able to grow and I guess protect the investment protection of the cameras that we've released.
So commoditization doesn't relate to you because of these the ways that you are differentiating in the market, would you say?
I think that's one of the things, and then when you look at, we provide the best cameras, right? But the platforms that are out there also are important to the overall solution. So the integration and service that we provide with these leading third-party platforms is really key too. PSIA and ONVIF are great standards that the industry is rallying around, and so are we. But the tighter integration, the feature utilization of panoramic technology and higher megapixel count technology goes beyond what is available through ONVIF or PSIA. So working with those NVR and VMS partners is key to us, and being able to support our product with and through them is also a real differentiator.
Perfect. So you're a U.S. company.
We are.
And you're operating in a global marketplace.
That's true.
Which is not that common these days. A lot of your products are made in the USA, or all of them. All of your products are made in the USA. So what are your secrets of global success, and what can others learn from your success as a U.S. company in the global market?
That's a really good one. The first thing is, it's all about people when you get into a global business. First of all, our headquarters people have to act global too. When we get into the markets that we serve, we've got to act local but also be a global company too. And so that means finding the talent in the local regions. Here in Europe, we have UK-based people. We have people throughout Europe and also throughout India, the Middle East, and Asia that aren't U.S. citizens. They're in their own countries, being the expert in Arecont Vision and leading our efforts there. So that's one thing. The other side would be building a global platform with global partners like we've talked about. So not only the underlying technologies that we build, but also the VMS and NVR partners and storage and network partners that we deal with are usually global. There are some local ones, some local platforms in Europe that we support, or even local to the UK market that we support. And then after that, I think it's the channel partners too. A lot of the channel partners that we deal with are in the local markets, and we've got to be attuned to their needs. And some are multinationals like us, where they have local offices in these countries, and we've got to team up with them as well. So it's a lot of work. And then we have a lot of global end users that are driving their business throughout their organizations, and we've got to be able to support them where they work and live as well.
In the megapixel arena, pixel counts seem to be going higher and higher. What is the impact that you see of the megapixel race? And when will we know that that there are enough pixels? How many pixels will it really take before there are enough?
Well, that's a really good question. And in the earlier days of VGA and analog cameras, a lot of people thought that those 300,000 pixel cameras were really enough. And then what we found over time was that even though there was the ability to pan, tilt, and zoom into a scene, pan, tilt, zooming into an image that was already recorded was a superior way to do forensic analysis. So doing the first 2, 3, 5, and 10 megapixel cameras from Arecont Vision, we found that people always had a desire to do more, and they really wanted to be able to do even more zooming than what the earlier cameras were able to do. So then we decided, hey, with the multi-sensor cameras, our panoramics, we could do whole scenes and then deliver 8 megapixels with 4 sensors, so 2, 2, 2, and 2. And then we moved to 12, which is 3, 3, 3, and 3, and then 20, which is 5, 5, 5, and 5, and then up to 40. So even with those, we find customers who wish they could even have more resolution at great frame rates to do the work that they need to get done. So I don't know that the race ever is over. I think that it's like the days of the PC. You always wanted more memory, you always wanted faster processing, you always wanted a smaller form factor, and look at the machine that you have here, right? I don't think those days will ever change. I think that the race goes on for a long time.
Yeah. And so, I mean, is there a point at which it's like there's no reason to get more megapixels because we're there, or is the sky the limit?
I think that there are some applications where the camera is close enough to the scene that you wouldn't need more than 1080, let's say. But there are scenes like we're showing in the background here of parking lots and warehouses and distribution centers and retail centers where they probably would like to even have more than 10 megapixel imagery at some time. So yeah, I think that it just keeps going.
So what would you say is next for Arecont Vision?
Well, I think the strategy that we've deployed over time, the smaller formats, faster, or smaller, faster, less expensive is really the key. We keep driving costs down by shrinking down the size of our cameras, reducing components, providing more performance through low light technologies, wide dynamic range technologies, improving color accuracy, improving frame rate, those kinds of things. So we'll always be working on those items and trying to provide smaller formats so that people can use less space in order to deliver the world's best image quality.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks a lot for spending some time with us. Good to see you.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks a lot.
It's a pleasure.